everybody else.
While they all know life is better in the West, they want to destroy the West.
The United Nations has adopted what it calls a resolution combating defamation of religions. The United Nations now wants to make that anti-blasphemy resolution binding on member nations, including, of course, our own. That would make it a crime in the United States if the United Nations were to have its way to criticize religion, in particular, Islam.
The UN General Assembly is considering a binding resolution urging member states to make it a crime to criticize Islam.
What they would do would be to make it illegal to put out a movie or write a book or a poem which somebody could say was defamatory.
To send troops, Sheriff Paul Babiou says Mexican drug cartels now control parts of Arizona all the way up to Metro Phoenix. ABC 15's Mariela Mendez has his plea.
Drug cartels control this area, and this is unacceptable, and local law enforcement cannot handle and stop this on our own.
Pinal County Sheriff Paul Babiou says drug violence is far past the border, spilling into the communities. Hiking areas now have warning signs posted where military armed drug cartels are frequently photographed making drug deliveries to vehicles on Highway 8.
We are outgunned, we are outmanned, and we don't have the resources here locally for us to fight this.
5 weeks ago, a Pinal County deputy was ambushed and shot as he tracked 6 drug smuggling suspects. Several times, the caller told operators to look for him where the sheriff had been shot.
As much of your attention. Let's start with that picture. Remember when President Obama had a town hall meeting and somebody showed up with a gun in a holster that he was later interviewed, and he actually said that the gun was loaded. Told that to an interviewer. All right, moments ago, we've got this picture in. Let's flip the shot. This was just about an hour ago. That picture's coming in right now from Phoenix, Arizona. He's actually carrying an assault rifle. He's at an Obama event. That's an AR-15 on his back. And we're being told from our crews there on the ground that he may not have been the only person in the crowd today that was carrying a loaded weapon. We should let you know, by the way, it's important that this is perfectly legal in the state of Arizona because they have an open carry law. Our White House correspondent Ed Henry is in Phoenix.
The streets of Pittsburgh in America, where the G20 summit kicked off. Police used tear gas, stun grenades and rubber bullets to disperse the angry crowd of mainly anti-globalism protesters. Artist Laura Minkowski's got the story.
No matter what your purpose is, you must leave
the unwelcome streets of a city on lockdown. The G20 Financial Summit brought out protesters in the hundreds, and police in full armor blocking every entrance to the city center. It was meant to be a peaceful event, but a tough economy is pushing people to the brink. Police surrounded the crowd and used tear gas
to put the G20 pledges of $1 trillion to save the world economy in perspective. The United States itself is spending $13 trillion of your money to support the $14 trillion American economy. British Prime Minister Brown today declared a new world order is emerging. The current president of the European Union says the president's recovery plan is, as he put it, a road to hell. Czech Prime Minister Mirek Topolánek says huge government spending is a mistake and it's already causing panic in Europe. Under the plan announced by Treasury Secretary Geithner, the federal government would buy $500 billion of toxic assets from commercial banks that are in danger of further default. Today, the dollar fell against the euro. Another confusing statement from Treasury Secretary Geithner in which he contradicted his testimony before Council on Foreign Relations in New York. The Treasury Secretary was asked about a proposal from China's top central banker. China's idea to replace the dollar as the world's reserve currency.
I haven't read the governor's proposal. We're actually quite open to that suggestion. But you should think of it as rather evolutionary, building on the current architecture rather than moving us to global monetary union.
Well, you may remember that the Treasury Secretary had said just 24 hours earlier to Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann something quite different.
I'm
wondering, would you categorically renounce the United States moving away from the dollar and going to a global currency, as suggested this morning by China and also by Russia, Mr. Secretary?
I would, yes.
You would categorically, and the Federal Reserve Chair?
I would also.
A group that you blame is the Obama administration itself.
Yes, because the Obama administration has gone along with its globalism. If you just take a look at the last G20 meetings in London in April and just recently in Pittsburgh, agreements have been signed that undermine the dollar. We're putting money into the International Monetary Fund
to build infrastructure. That's how you get rich. You borrow to invest. But what we've been doing recently is we've been blowing money. We've been borrowing to consume. We've dissipated wealth. We've spent ourselves into poverty. No, we're not the low-tax, low-regulation company country.
Obama giving new life to the North American Union, a plan by business and political elites to tear down the trade barriers among the United States, Canada, and Mexico, and to create a NAFTA superhighway, all of which to be done without the approval of Congress or the American people. President-elect Obama named a diehard free trader and NAFTA supporter.
I do this stuff every day, and for the first time, I'm being honest with you, for the first time in a year or two or three, possibly, I looked at the news report this morning and said to myself, whoa. For the first time in years, I looked at something and I saw it in my mind, the whole story that I'm going to show to you today, and I said, guys, we're here. It's here. All these things we've talked about for so long, they're here, they're happening, and I just said, wow. This stuff is happening, and you are seeing it right in front of your eyes. It's the greatest time in the world to be alive.
From the last battlefield on planet Earth. It's out here that the last stages of history as we know it will be decided. We're told not only in the Bible what will happen here, but when. The exact sequence of events that will occur here are given in prophecy. The prophet Zechariah tells us that the soldiers who fight here will have a most unusual way of dying. First of all, the flesh will be consumed off of their bones, the eyes consumed out of their sockets, and the tongue consumed out of their mouth. But the strange thing is, he says that this will all occur before they can fall to the ground. There's nothing like that except nuclear war.